Welcome to Fit Over 50. Karate can be remarkable for hip strength and mobility. The round kick in particular covers a lot of bases. I warmed up for 10 minutes on the bike. Let's get right into it. We're going to cover this in 4 phases and with a little bit of speed and a final stretch. Before I do my initial stretch, I already did, but I'm going to show that to you again. But before I do that, phase 1 is just going to be from a, not even a fighting stance, just kind of a shoulder width stance, just super comfortable, real smooth, and we're just going to kick low. So we're going to keep our supporting leg bent, our kicking leg is going to chamber, kick, and back. So we're just warming up. Just going to do about 5 on each side. And then I'll switch, and again, phase 1, again, we're going to build up. So I'm just going to do about 5 of these real easy, gentle, just to get the joint a little bit more warmed up. And that was 4. Remember, we're always activating our core. So that is 5. For stretching, I'm just going to go through quickly, but do take your time when you go through your stretch. This is what I've developed going from top to bottom. I'll start with the neck, to the left, hold, to the right and hold. Then I'll go down really gently, hold, and then I won't go back. When you do your head back or make big circles, you can put it in a biomechanical bad position. So again, just left, right, down, holding each, repeating that 8 to 10 times. Then I'll just swing the upper body gently. You don't want to jar this. So I'll do this 10, 15 times. Then I rotate the hips. Just like that. Then I'll go the other way. Then the palms facing real gently. Keep your elbows fairly straight so you get the full benefit of the stretch. Palms down. Palms facing. And then palms up as well. And I'll do like a big shoulder circle. Again, slow, deliberate. If you've never done this, your shoulders might not be fully functioning, so just go slow and easy in both directions. Just like that, other direction. Again, it's critical to warm up and then stretch. This is a combination of a dynamic stretch and a static stretch. Down to the left. So this would be the static stretch part, where you just kind of hold. But when you do a static stretch and hold, you want to have warmed up, just go gently and hold. If you really tug on it or bounce, your body's actually going to respond by tightening up and being counterproductive to stretching. So you want to stretch, hold, and then when you come up, the stretch is going to stay there. It's not going to come back. So stretch super gently. Hold for 15 seconds and then straight down. Same thing, feet together. Again, you might repeat this 8 times. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. And then cross over the other way. And then I'll do the quad. So I'll stretch there. And here, holding for 10 to 15 seconds. Then I'll swing. You could start with this type of dynamic stretch or end with it. So I'm just going to swing this way and this way. And same thing here. Make sure you don't kick anything behind you. And just going to stretch. And the same thing here. Then we're just going to finish up the first stretch with, you want to sit, feet apart, and then push to open up. Then you want to stretch and hold. 10, 15 seconds. Stretch and hold. And to the center. Stretch and hold. And repeat that 5 to 8 times. Then don't bring your feet together, but back yourself up. And then gently come out of it to a front stretch. with the legs out in front. Keep your back straight, blow the air out. And just gently stretch and hold. Again, you don't want to bounce and you don't want to pull to where it hurts. Pain, your body responds to pain, tightens up, and you actually do the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish. And repeat that 5 to 8 times. So we're going to do a progression. We just did part 1, which was just a little kick just to get it moving. Part 2 is more of a fighting stance. Part 3 is going to be a full-blown karate stance, then back to a fighting stance for some speed. So in a fighting stance, shoulder width, back foot somewhat pointing towards your opponent, and your core activated, your stomach muscles tight, half the air blown out of your lungs, and just kind of hold that. Your power is going to come from here. So you want to tighten your stomach muscles. It's your center of balance. So what happens is when you tighten these muscles, it goes out to the extremities and makes your body function as one unit. So try to, it's a little bit counterintuitive, but try to have tight stomach muscles, but very loose everything else. So tighten the stomach, control the breathing, and ultra smooth. Now feel free to kick low. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to kick kind of mid-body. So I'm just going to keep the hands up. If you'll notice, I'm not pivoting much with my supporting leg because I'm going to kick and come right back. If I did want to pivot to get maybe a harder round kick, I would only pivot my supporting leg if I'm going to follow up with a side kick. But today we're just working on the round kick, so it's real smooth. And if this is causing any discomfort in here, keep it low. So just keep it low. So you're chambering, kicking, keeping this leg bent and your stomach muscles tight to generate your power from, and just boom. Also, you have kind of an end point where you're kind of just ending, then you want to retract the same way. So that was maybe 5. Make this workout your own too. So I did 5, I don't want the video to drag on forever. But in a good fighting stance, hands up, so you don't want your hands flying around. Stomach, hands, supporting leg, and just real controlled, real smooth. And again, you're just working on your hips. So we don't want to crush it or blast it. We just want to be tight here, relaxed everywhere else, which is an acquired skill. So it's probably not going to come naturally. Generally keep your hands into a fist. It doesn't have to be a tight fist, but more of a fist, not so much open, but at least a loose fist. And that was that. So that's the end of phase 2. Phase 3 is going to be in a full-blown karate stance where we go shoulder width, go into a deep, long karate stance. And the reason for that is that phase 4, or part 4 of this, is going to be going from the karate stance back to the fighting stance. So when we train like this, it's like swinging a baseball bat with the weight on it. It takes a lot more force from your core to get that kick out properly. So if we train like this, but fight like this, then our kicks are going to be better. All of our techniques typically going to be better. So good karate stance, weight is about 70% forward, 30% to the rear. You should be able to barely or not see your toes, and your rear foot somewhat pointed towards your opponent, but about 30 to 45 degrees. Definitely not like that, but your foot kind of pointed. So good stance. I'm going to kick high. I do like the round kick for kicking to the head, partly because I have a long history of kicking people in the elbows and breaking my toes. And when you have your big toe snap off once because of that, it's just very unfortunate. So if we go into a good karate stance, hands up and just still really smooth, ultra smooth. So let's do 8 of those. That's 3, 4. Very, very controlled, very smooth. If you don't have any kind of bag or anything, don't worry about it, just kick into the air. Again, if you notice my supporting foot, it might move a little bit, but not too much, because I want to come right back to being ready. And I did just step a little, so you can do that if you feel more comfortable, a little step, and then a kick, nothing wrong with that. But ideally you want to just core, blow the air out, and back. Let me see if I can do 8 like that with my bad leg. 1, definitely not as good as my other. And so I'll just whip through these. But part of this too is warming up for the last part of this workout is going to be more of a fighting stance. So my back foot, even more so, pointed towards my opponent. Stomach is critical. Hands up, and you want to focus hard on being smooth. So definitely keep it low if you like, but if you can, get low and kick up. So low and just cocking back. Let me do 4 of those. Just smooth and ultra loose with your legs and your arms. But again, that stomach is almost the most critical part. So kick. Have control too through the whole thing so you're balanced. Again, you don't want to come up as you kick. Stay low, stomach. And actually the effect of the core goes here and here as well. So that's 4. Nice and smooth, but with a little bit of speed. I'll see what I can do with my other leg. So again, chambering, kick, a little bit of an end point, back, the same way and down. 2, 3, and 4. So that's the basic progression. Would be a little bit of a warm-up, then a little bit more of a fighting stance. Then to train from a karate stance, you're using the full weight of everything you have, your core especially. Then bring it back up to a fighting stance. With that, I'll wipe off a little sweat and just end with pretty much the quintessential stretch, which if you don't feel comfortable or if you want to give it a shot, maybe put a bench or a sofa in front of you and hold on to that. But just a side split, a front split. And just gently, again, you don't want to crank this out. Point your toes up, hold it, maybe go down a little, to the left a little, to the right a little. Then carefully, you can lift up a little, go into a side split. And again, just hold this bare feet or better, or with socks because you'll slide, versus shoes. And just try to stay centered. You can go to your knee a little bit and then carefully pivot and work on the other side. Just like that. Then to complete that stretch, just go a little bit deeper, up on the heels, a little deeper if you can without causing any pain whatsoever. Then when you come out of this, support yourself and gently, you don't want to quickly like snap out of it and spring out of it. You want to just go easy on your muscles while they're under tension. Meantime, let me know if you have any questions. Ease into any workout and hope to see you next time.